we are going to move into the NBA right now. Okay, we are at the bottom portion of this show. But man, we are going to amp things up even further, in a good way, because I'm in a good mood. My guy, Jalen Brunson, he took a pay cut to obviously not only stay with the Knicks, but, obviously an extension. And, he forfeits $113 million in the new deal. And the question that we have, and by the way, folks, we are all Knicks fans here on the show. Was this the right move? And Zach, the mic is yours.
Yeah, I think this is a super fascinating question because I think both arguments have valid points backing them, and there are a lot of pros and cons in either direction. But I just got to say off the top, like Jalen Brunson, man, he is the king of New York, and there's no one that's ever going to take that away from him. Just what this guy has been able to do since joining the Knicks is unreal. And to be honest, like I never really thought it was possible. And the signing of him by Leon Rose really, it is like just a total shift and a total turning point trajectory within this organization. The fact that the Knicks at the time, many people thought it was considered an overpay. The Knicks really haven't had good, consistent point guard play before this, dating back to Charlie Ward in the 1990s. And Brunson has really lived up to the hype. And I think what Jalen Brunson did was he told Leon Rose, he told this Knicks front office, look, like, get me Mikal Bridges, get me my guy from Villanova. And if you're able to do that, I'll take a little bit of a pay cut so we could afford him. I just want to play with my guys from Villanova for the foreseeable future. And I respect that. Like Brunson knows the Villanova guys, they have chemistry. They've won a ton together in the college level. And Jalen Brunson, man, you just can't really say enough about him. I do want to say one thing, though. Josh Hart, shortly after the news was announced, he tweeted out, like, build this man a statue. And maybe one day Jalen Brunson is going to get that statue outside of Madison Square Garden. But he has to do one thing first, and that's bring New York City their first NBA championship in over 50 years. It's been that long since the Knicks have won a championship. And I don't think they're that far off. If they're healthy, I think they beat Indiana in Game 7 last year. And I think if OG Anunoby plays, they win that series. I think the Knicks this offseason really prioritize the mindset of, okay, we have to do whatever it takes to beat Boston. Very similar to how Minnesota built their team to beat Denver. There isn't a team in the NBA with better depth at the wing position right now than the New York Knicks, and that's going to really help them match up with Boston if it gets to that point in an NBA Finals. I just worry a tad that they just need one more body in the front court. I still think the loss of Hartenstein is a big one. They're going to need to find a way to replace him. I don't know if you could really rely on Mitchell Robinson's health at this point. He's just had a tough time staying healthy, but no doubt this has been a great offseason, a great summer for the Knicks, and that starts with their franchise point guard doing this. There aren't really a lot of other athletes or a lot of players in the NBA that would make a move like this, but Jalen Brunson, that's what it's all about. He knows that if he could win a championship here in New York, then everything is going to pay for itself. He'll never have to pay for another drink in New York City ever again. He probably doesn't already, like based on what he's done up to this point. But this move says a lot about him. It says a lot about his character. I think he's also eliminating risk that, God forbid, he suffers an injury. Like, might as well secure that big time money now, opposed to worry about it later. I just think this move says a lot about him, says a lot about his character, and I can't wait until the next season starts back up.
Yeah, I would like to jump in here and give my thoughts. Now, salute to my guy, Jalen Brunson. I just want to be clear here. We love him here in New York. He is the king of New York, and we respect his gratitude. We respect him, his generosity, taking the pay cut, and we respect him as a basketball player, But if you asking me from an individual perspective, if this was the right move or not, I'm not sure if it is. If I'm just specifically not looking at it from like a Knicks perspective and a fan, but I'm looking at it from Jalen Brunson. Like, I care about the individual. I'm not sure if this was the right move, and I'm going to explain why. Obviously, he's not the biggest guy. He's undersized, right? We know that. He's not the most athletic. You have those two things going against him, right? That's number one. When you talk about, guys like Paul George, he made sure he got a lot of that bag from Philly, right? $212 million. But guess what? He has $315 million in career earnings. So he's already made. He's already paid, right? You talk about a guy like LeBron James who was saying, he had that ultimatum. You sign me these three guys, then I'll take a pay cut. And it was going to be a large pay cut as well. But guess what? He's LeBron James. money is not an issue when it comes to LeBron James. And when you talk about, comparing him to other guys in the NBA that may be more talented. Now, let's be clear. Jalen Brunson is very good at basketball. If anything has shown us that over the last couple of years, okay? He's very good at the game. But when you talk about, guys like Steph, and the evolution of Steph's game, obviously being the three-point shooter that he is, that he came into the league being, but also being able to finish at the rim. I think he's very underrated in that. And that's something that he kind of like improved, building his body to be a more impactful player on the defensive end, right? So he elevated his game there. You talk about LeBron James, right? The evolution of the post up to his game as well. Giannis, when they won the championship, his game took another leap. He was impacting the game in a lot of areas when they won that championship. So it allowed them to win the championship. My point being is that Brunson is undersized. He's not the most athletic. So there's risk here. But if he can continue to elevate his game as an outside shooter that will sustain his longevity, I'm all for it. And he has improved as a three-point shooter. He's taking more threes and stuff like that. But if he continues the trajectory of improving that outside shot to go along what he can do, which we all know what he can do, the craftiness, the footwork and everything, seeking contact, a lot of what he does is getting to the free throw line, whether or not we want to admit it. Now, it's not on the level of James Harden in his prime, where his main impact was getting to the free throw line. He could do more, right? But at the same time, it hinges on getting to the free throw line. When you look at the playoffs, he got to the free throw line a lot when he was struggling. That was his primary offense right there. So it's risky. It is risk. Time will tell if it's the wrong move or not, but I respect it, and I respect that we have a chance to compete for a championship.
Yeah, I got a lot to say about this. I'm gonna start early from the beginning. Um, we as a Knicks fan base owe James Dolan an apology. We as a Knicks fan base didn't recognize that James Dolan has been the absolute reason the Knicks are at this very point to this very day. He is an owner who has hired the most minorities in power at the front office position as head coaches everywhere that has been implemented, in the bricks and the stone and the foundation of the New York Knicks has been because of James Dolan. He shells out the money. He's not stingy with it. He's not saying I'm not paying this guy. He has given everybody an opportunity to fix this organization, all the way down from Phil Jackson, Isaiah Thomas, Grunwald, Steve Mills, Scott Perry, all these different
Donnie
names.
Walsh,
all these different names that's gotten to this very point where he hired Leon Rose, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. An agent at one particular time, a owner of CAA. I mean, not owner, but one of the co-founders of CAA. Like Leon Rose was laid off the foundation to let Leon Rose get a job. Leon Rose gets in. Nobody likes him. Everyone's already saying, "Oh, get James Dolan out of here. He's making the bad hires. He doesn't know what he's doing." As an owner, all he could do was give out the money. And he has never been shy handing out money. James Dolan, since I've been a Knicks fan, has never been shy handing out money whatsoever. So he allows Leon Rose to get the position. He brings in Worldwide West. He brings in all those different guys. Brings in Mike Woodson as the coach. Brings in Tom Tibbs. And now we have the trifecta. Tom Thibodeau, Leon Rose, Worldwide West, William Wesley in the building. Getting the free agents, getting the guys to this organization, drafting guys, developing them, moving them to get OG Anunoby, moving them to get Mikal Bridges, to bring in a guy like Jalen Brunson, to get a guy like Julius Randle, who was the first player since Carmelo Anthony to want to come to New York. The guy that said, "I want to come to New York."
Go ahead,
I want to come to New York. I want to play. And now we have a situation where the Knicks finally have a championship window open, where the Knicks are finally a team that people want to come to, that want to play for them, that want to wear the orange and blue, that want to hit a hard knock life in the Garden. This is the final perfection. Now get it all the way up here. Was it the right move? Jalen Brunson said, "I trust you with my career. I trust you with my life. I will forfeit this money if it means I'm winning a championship in New York City. I'll forfeit the money if that means we could keep this team intact for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Because this move happened, the next thing that came out in the article saying Mikal Bridges is going to sign a team-friendly deal. What's next? That means Julius Randle might sign a team-friendly deal. What's next? We have money to bring other guys. We have money to bring in role players, depth chart players, whoever you want to bring. Name them. Because now we have the money to do so. Jalen Brunson could have said, "Bump that. I'm taking $300 million because I deserve it. I'm getting 60 million a year because I deserve it. If Zach LaVine's getting 60, why can't I? If Jalen Brown getting 60, why can't I? If Bradley Beal's getting 60, why can't I? If Cat, Rudy Gobert, all these guys are getting 60, why can't I? I made the Knicks relevant. He could have easily went ego. He could have easily said, I'm the one that put the Knicks in a position to be in where they're at. But no, he said, I'm going to take less so we could do more. I'm going to take less so we can do more. Kenny's a Warriors fan. Y'all windows closed. I'm not even talking to the Warriors fans in the building right now. Jalen Brunson is the epitome of a leader. He is the face of the New York Knicks currently, and that statue is coming to New York. Whether we like it or not. Rather you are a Jalen Brunson hater.
Replace the Statue of Liberty and put Jalen Brown's
the statue of Brunson doing this.
Literally.
Jalen Brunson is going to be the reason the Knicks win a championship in a foreseeable future.
Get that demonic Statue of Liberty out of here and put Jalen Brunson right there.
It allows one last thing. It allows also this contract is good for him as well because he has an out, I believe, in year 3 or year 4. I think it's a player option. If the Knicks win a championship within these next 3 years, that contract doubles, near triples what he could have commanded.
Yeah.
You go from making 40, 50 million to damn near 80 to 90 if you win a championship in New York. Do you know the stature of who you are if then you win a championship in New York in any sport? In any sport, you win a championship in New York, you are sketched in history for the rest of your life. That is the legacy Brunson is chasing. Everyone complains about Nova Knicks outside of New York. Oh, we gotta get rid of this Nova Knicks. We gotta get rid of these relationships, X, Y, Z. Well, guess what? That's how the league works. That's how Braun, Wade, and Bosh worked out. That's how they got Kyrie and KD in Brooklyn. Now talking about get the relationships out of it. That's the sport. No longer the sport is pay the most guys the most money. Of course, guys should deserve their money. Of course, I'm not saying no one deserves to make 60, 50 million, whatever it is. It ain't my money. If they're gonna pay you, pay you. But Brunson made a move that's gonna elevate the Knicks for the foreseeable future, and it's gonna help achieve what we all been craving for the last 50 years: a championship in blue and orange.
Look, Zay, real quickly, it's hard for me to disagree with that take. Looking at it from that perspective, obviously, I agree with that perspective since you hit it on that particular perspective, right? But I also think you look at the individual perspective. Obviously, he did a very good gesture, and we have did a very good gesture to him, right? Remember, the Mavericks, he put a deal out for the Mavericks to pay him twice. They turned it down. I don't want to pay you that money. I think it was 51 million. And he balled out that year. Then they came back with the 51 million. He was like, nah. And you see my word, that time the price went up and we paid the price. We paid him 104. Overpay. That's what everybody said. We banked on his upside. He delivered. We built this team full of his friends, guys he played with in college. We did a very good gesture to him. He returned the favor with this pay cut. However, I care about Jalen Brunson a lot to know that it is a risk, right? Now, it is a risk the other way, not taking the money now and obviously playing next year. And Zach hinted at that. I get that part. But I remember situations like Isaiah Thomas, right? When he had the opportunity to get that max contract and he got the hip injury and then obviously had to settle for a vet minimum, right? There has to be a level of, okay, yes, thank you, but you still have to deliver. Thank you, but what if you have a altering career injury? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I just going to take care of you on the back end? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand it may sound harsh, but that's the reality. Sports is production. So he has to continue to do what he's doing right now, right? My thing here is you got guys like OG Anunoby who literally got all the money out the New York Knicks, right? As far as taking that $212 million deal. Now, you can make the case that OG is not the number one, nor is he the number two, and he may not even be the number three with the Mikal Bridges trade. That's like up for interpretation. If he's the third best player on the team, right? And he's making $212 million. He took the money. He took all he could from the New York Knicks, right? You got that in consideration. Don't get me wrong. I understand his impact. I understand when he got traded for, we went 20-3, right? That's impact right there. But he took a lot of money. Jalen Brunson had every single right with what he done for the Knicks franchise since he got here to literally take that bag as well. And he took it for the team. So I get it. I respect it. I love it. It means great things for us long term, but for him individually. And I understand that you hit it from a nice angle. I give you your props. Legacy. What does legacy mean winning in New York? I get that point, but it's not guaranteed. In a long career, it's not guaranteed, right? He's undersized. He's not athletic. It's risky here. And that's all I'm saying. Zach, the mic is you.
I think I'm good. I think you guys hit on some good angles. Agreed with basically everything you guys had to say.
Real quick, and this is and I understand that point, right? But we're talking about Jalen Brunson right now. He could have cashed in, right? He could have waited till next year. This man right now, the way he played the last season, you could arguably say he is a top 10 player in the NBA from based on what he's playing like. Yes, he's not the tallest player, he's not the most athletic, but he is one of the craftiest one-on-one players in the league, despite not having the height advantage, nor the speed advantage, nor the strength advantage amongst the people he's playing against. I'm talking about this guy's making guys like Drew Holiday look foolish when guarding him because he's going up against him. He's able to score in a efficient value. And we talking about guys like OG Anunoby. I understand that point where we paid him $212 million. Apparently, he took less coming back to New York because he was commanding $270 million max from other teams, and he was they was offering that money to him. He said, "I'm gonna take $212 and stay with the New York Knicks." And I think it changes a lot of narratives. Like, yeah, iHeart left because he's getting $30 million per year. That's generational money. Like, you'll never get that money again as a backup center. But the way Jalen Brunson is playing at the level he's playing at, he could command that money if he just plays exactly the same from last year. If he continues to play like that, that money that we said he left off and that he should have taken is going to triple itself when it's time for his contract due the next time. I think when you keep Leon Rose, when you keep William Wesley, when you keep Tom Thibodeau in these positions of power as head coach, front office execs, they basically I think it's a backdoor deal. They told Brunson, you're good. As long as we keep this trio, you are good for the rest of your career. You are a lifelong Knick as long as I am here in this front office. And if the Knicks achieve what I think they will achieve, which is an NBA championship,
I'm just saying,
there's no way in hell we're moving on from Leon Rose or William Wesley or Tom Thibodeau at all for the next 10 years.
Look, I co-signed that. I approve. Just don't go James Harden on me. Like Daryl Murray. When I promise you something on the back end and you ain't show up in the playoff, don't go that route.
I just
at the end of the day, like it's a production thing, right? You got to maintain that.
No, not even that. It's a relationship thing. It's about relationships. That's all it is.
Exactly. And I think, and this is my last point, then I'm done. I think what this proves is that you can have loyalty in the NBA. Everybody shoot that down, right? The loyalty thing. No. You can have loyalty here. What we've done with Leon Rose is we invested in Jalen Brunson as our number one, and we have built a compatible team to him. It's not only about signing his boys, but it's about building a compatible team around him, right? Think about it like this. When you had guys like Dame, they couldn't build a compatible team to Dame. They just was making moves because they was nervous. They wanted to keep him happy. Let's trade for this guy and that guy, and they don't even fit. Same thing you could argue with Bradley Beal. With Jalen Brunson, we could have made the move for Donovan Mitchell. Everybody was pushing us to do so. And we would have sold our future for another undersized guy who probably wouldn't have been compatible to Jalen Brunson because they both undersized. Okay, and they both guards. And that probably wouldn't have moved the needle the way how the moves that we made since we traded for signed Jalen Brunson has done for us and put us in this position today. So you have to credit the president of operations, and you have to credit everybody for where we are right now. And it's a very exciting time to be a New York Knickerbocker.
Please like and subscribe for all the up-to-date content. You've been slinging shows left and right, slinging content left and right. Please don't miss anything. If you do, like, subscribe, leave a comment, or leave a question, something you may want to answer, something you may have. All ideas are great ideas. Nothing's a dumb question.